respectful as can be, given this moment of people trying to show him love. But yeah, a lot of people apparently mobbed Jeff Beck's funeral just to get a photo.
A clip of a heartbroken Johnny paying his respect at Jeff Beck's funeral has been gaining a lot of attention, with some sympathizing with Johnny while others were busy calling out the fans who invaded the occasion with cameras. Celebrity mourners turned out to pay their respects to the late Jeff Beck as he was laid to rest at his funeral at St. Mary's Church in South London on Friday. Several celebrities, including Johnny Depp, Sir Rod Stewart and Ronnie Wood, Eric Clapton, Bob Geldof, among others, turned out to say a final farewell to the late rock legend. Edward Scissorhands filmmaker Tim Burton and comic Vic Reeves were also spotted at the church to say their final respects. Johnny Depp was in attendance, but he looked sorrowful as he was reportedly devastated after the death of his friend. The two grew close over the years, so losing Jeff was pretty hard-hitting for Johnny, who had come to depend on him a lot. Entertainment Tonight claimed that Depp was still processing the news and mourning the loss of his close friend and collaborator, and that the two had an extremely close friendship and became closer touring together. Another source told People that unfortunately or fortunately, Depp was at Beck's bedside at the hospital before he passed away. The source said they had a really tight friendship, they were extremely close, and he got even closer over this past summer when they were touring together. The sickness came on really quickly and it all deteriorated rapidly in the last couple weeks. It's common knowledge that Johnny and Jeff had a tight relationship, to the point where Jeff was dragged through mud when he supported Johnny during his defamation case, and Jeff even did a tour with him, solidifying their bond. The two first met in 2016 and formed a bond over their love for guitar before they decided to make an album in 2019. The two men have both been vocal on their affection for each other, and Johnny even said he felt as though he had made a brother of Jeff. During an interview with Hollywood Authentic, Depp spoke with Greg Williams about his relationship with Beck, saying that Beck and his wife Sandy Cash helped him stay sane. Depp said, "There's a couple who very much helped to keep me alive and sane and happy through the weirdness, and that's Jeff and Sandra. By the weirdness, he must have meant all the torment he went through as he navigated about his divorce and his defamation case." Depp said that he and Jeff had such a strong connection that there were times when they didn't even have to talk. They would just look at each other and communicate, and for two people to get to a point where they don't even need to speak around each other to understand, it means they are really close. Depp said, "Once you've connected on some sort of level and you become that tight, you practically don't have to say anything. It's an eye glance and you're both on the floor laughing." To fulfill their 2019 album Promise, Beck appeared on Rise, an album by Depp's group Hollywood Vampires, before working on a collaborated album titled 18 together last year. The late musician spoke about working with Depp and how they thought of the album title. Beck spoke with utmost respect for Johnny, and he said he had loved and enjoyed working with the actor. "When Johnny and I started playing together, it really ignited our youthful spirit and creativity," said Beck in a statement around the time the album was released. "We would joke about how we felt 18 again, so that just became the album title, too." Jeff then continued, saying he had never met someone as creative and as talented as Johnny for a while. Beck continued, "He was a major force on this record. I just hope people will take him seriously as a musician, because it's a hard thing for some people to accept that Johnny Depp can sing rock and roll." The public has been saying for years that Johnny isn't a good singer, and despite the fact that Johnny started out as a singer, most people don't know he's a musician and he sings. Having Jeff say all those complimentary stuff about Johnny proves he not only respected him as his friend but also as a musician. Depp also expressed his appreciation for Beck and shared how excited he was to make music with his close friend. To Depp, it was an extraordinary honor to play and write music with Jeff, since he sees him as one of the greats and someone he is privileged enough to call his brother. Not only did they make an album called 18, they also promoted it by performing on shows together. A couple of days before the end of the defamation case, Johnny and Jeff performed for 3 consecutive nights before they went out drinking in Newcastle together with fellow musician Sam Fender. The pair performed together in Europe and the United States and released what is now Beck's final album during his lifetime. Sandra, Jeff's wife, designed the album 18 cover artwork for Beck's collaboration with Depp, which features the pair as teenagers on the cover. Beck made headlines last year when he brought Depp on stage to perform with him in the wake of Depp's defamation trial with Amber Heard. Some of Beck's fans spoke of their disappointment that he performed alongside Depp with all his controversies at the time at the Royal Albert Hall in London. They also complained Depp took away so much from the guitarist they had paid to see. Despite the hate, music critic Neil McCormick wrote in The Telegraph, "Depp may not be the greatest vocalist, but he knows how to deliver a song," adding that Depp's presence added pizzazz and created a space for Beck to shine more brightly. Boston Delord, a Beck fan, said there was too much Johnny and that he wasn't interested with Johnny but with Jeff. He said, "Too much Johnny Depp, we did not come here to see him. Bit of a publicity stunt. He did not bring much to the party, but he took away so much from Beck." Jeff Beck rose to fame as a guitarist in the 1960s with the Yardbirds, and he has maintained his reputation as the best guitarist of all time, even getting himself to the Hall of Fame. Weeks prior to his death, the late rock star finished a transatlantic tour with Johnny as they promoted their debut album 18, and Johnny was by his bedside when he finally let go. He peacefully passed away at the age of 78 after contracting bacterial meningitis. His family shared the heartbreaking news on his Twitter page along with a picture of the star on stage with his trademark shades and guitar. A statement from his agent read, "On behalf of his family, it is with deep and profound sadness that we share the news of Jeff Beck's passing. After suddenly contracting bacterial meningitis, he peacefully passed away yesterday. His family asked for privacy while they processed this tremendous loss." British rockers including Rod Stewart, Ronnie Wood, and Mick Jagger, who were also close with Jeff Beck, paid their respect to the guitar legend online. Jagger tweeted, "With the death of Jeff Beck, we have lost a wonderful man and one of the greatest guitar players in the world. We will all miss him so much." Rolling Stones bandmate Ronnie Wood added that since Jeff is gone, he feels like one of his band of brothers has left this world and he was going to miss him dearly. "I'm sending much sympathy to Sandra, his family, and all who loved him. I want to thank him for all our early days together in the Jeff Beck group." Conquering America, Sir Rod also tweeted that Jeff Beck was on another planet and that he took him and Ronnie Wood to the USA in the late 60s in his band, the Jeff Beck Group, and they haven't looked back since. He was one of the few guitarists that when playing live would actually listen to me sing and respond. "Jeff, you were the greatest, my man. Thank you for everything. R.I.P. Johnny hasn't publicly talked of his grief yet, and until he does, let's patiently wait as he comes to terms with his loss and emotions." A fan on Twitter said, "Yeah, I'm not going to post that pic of Johnny Depp at Jeff Beck's funeral. I think it was very tacky, rude, and inconsiderate to ask for a pic at a funeral. And poor Johnny is too nice to say no." Another said, hashtag "RIP Jeff Beck. We will never forget what you did for hashtag Johnny Depp when he needed a friend. We will forever love your music." Anyways, let's not forget that this video is based on theories and my opinions and should not be considered facts. That's it for this video. Bye.